Hey, what's up, catchers? Today, let's talk about patience. Being patient, and what that means is you have to be patient when you're receiving, when you're throwing, when you're blocking. It's just like hitting. I always go back to everything's just like hitting, hitting's just like everything. If you're not patient, you're gonna get beat. When you're not patient, you're you're moving your body too fast. The game will speed you up naturally. And what I mean by that, let's start with receiving. So if we're going into our load to receive and we prematurely try and attack the ball, then we're running into a situation where we're meeting the ball before it gets to the point of where we are going to create the best presentation for the umpire to give our pitcher the best chance of getting a strike. It might be a little bit low, but if you can be patient enough to come up through the ball, you're going to be able to create a good presentation for the umpire. And that's what it's all about, right? The better presentation we give to the umpire, the better chance we're going to give our pitcher of throwing less pitches in the game. And as a catcher, our job is to limit our pitch count for our pitchers, so that our pitcher can go late in the game. Quick innings means more at bats for everybody. It's a byproduct for so much outcome in a baseball game. So that's where we really create a lot of value for ourselves as a catcher, not only with our bat. I always like to tell guys I work with, it's not fun going over 5, but you can't worry about going over 5 as long as you're doing a great job for your pitcher. You're gonna give the team the best chance to win. So let's go into the part of patience in receiving. I'm gonna drop down for this, and whether you're traditional, right knee down, left knee down, whatever the case is, you're still gonna be patient. You still have to be patient. So if I'm down here and and my pitcher's going into his windup out of the stretch or the I'm sorry. Anyways, out of the stretch, or the windup, whatever position he's in, whether there's a runner on base, we have to, as we go into our load, we have to make sure we time it. We create a rhythm with our pitcher in a way where as we go down and we're coming up to receive the ball, we're not too soon. What happens if you're too soon is, come on down. What happens if you're too soon is as you go catch the ball, and if you hit that point too soon before you receive it, there's going to be a little bit of movement in your glove. And we don't want that. We want it to be as smooth as possible, almost like we're not even catching the ball. So if I'm going into my load, I want to, boom, just catch it like that. And I'm right there. There's no extra little bit of movement. If I am receiving a slider, for instance, and we have to come around because that slider is going to kind of move for us, we're going to have to be patient enough to receive that slider at that perfect angle in order to catch it like that. Rather than if we're too soon, that slider may take us a little bit like this, and then we're going to be bringing it back. And the umpire is going to see that. The umpire will see that little bit of hitch move. So that's why getting in rhythm with your pitcher is going to be so important. And it starts in the bullpen. It starts before the game. It starts with fall ball bullpens. It starts with spring training bullpens. It starts with all that work before you even get in a game. Because if you don't know how to be in rhythm, in sync with your pitcher, that load is going to be a little jerky. It's going to be a little clunky as you go through it. So remember with that, get in rhythm with your pitcher and meet that ball at the exact point where that ball is going to be, rather than trying to beat that ball to the point of where it's going to be. All right, so patience, not only with receiving, but also with throwing. And it's going to go back to just like receiving a ball, because when you're throwing, if there's a runner running, you're still receiving the ball. So we have to be patient and not get caught going too fast, right? If we're getting caught going too fast and not being patient and letting that ball come to us, well, we're running into the issues of poor throwing mechanics, being in a bad throwing position, and as you get ready to throw the ball, your arm slot is in a bad position and you're not getting the most out of your arm to throw down to second base. And that's what we want to do. We want to put our body in the absolute best position possible when it comes to throwing a runner out. And that all starts with before you even catch the ball. So what I'm talking about with that is as you go in, whether you're from a knee, whether you're more traditional, whether you're a little bit more showcase, throwing down to second position, whatever it is, you have to make sure you're as patient as possible when it comes to that ball coming in as you receive it, because if you don't, you're not going to be in this optimal position to throw from that backside. You've heard me talk about in my other videos is you want to be able to throw through your backside, through your back foot. You don't want to throw from your backside, your back foot, because what that does, it just changes the mechanics of throwing. And as catchers, we understand the importance of mechanics. I mean, sometimes it feels like we are our pitcher's pitching coach in the game. We're correcting mechanics. We're saying, hey, you're flying open. Hey, your glove side is opening up. Hey, your arm's dragging. All that stuff. So just as important as pitching mechanics are to pitchers, throwing mechanics are just as important to us catchers to give ourselves the best chance to throw that runner out. If you throw that runner out, that means now there's one more out in that inning. So now you've taken the leverage away from the offense and you've put it onto your pitcher. Now we have the leverage. Now we have the leverage in that inning to get out of it as quick as possible. So let's go back over it real quick. Regardless if you're a knee down or a traditional guy, you're going to want to make sure you don't get going too fast before that ball gets to you. You do want to get going. It's a rhythm thing. As that pitch is coming and you're getting ready to receive it, your body is essentially moving forward just a little bit. You're not crow hopping. You're not turning into an outfielder throwing down a second, but you are getting your body going because it's a rhythm that you're creating into the throw. So you have to make sure that timing is as perfect as it can possibly be. Nothing is ever going to be perfect in this game, but you have to make sure you're thinking about being as close to perfect as you can. So get that body going in a nice rhythm, not too soon, so you're putting yourself in that position so you're able to put that throw right where you need to. All right, next is going to be blocking. Now, it might sound kind of weird with be patient when you block, but we know one of the most important things with blocking is anticipation. The more you can anticipate that ball being in the dirt based off of the situation, based off of the pitch you called, the more you anticipate what that pitch is going to do, the more you can be patient with it. Because if you just get, let's say you get block happy and you're like, I'm just expecting this ball in the dirt. You're not. So expecting the ball in the dirt and anticipating the ball in the dirt they sound the same, but they're kind of different. What I mean by that is if you're expecting the ball in the dirt and let's say it's a changeup and you prematurely go down to block the pitch because you're like, it was going to be in the dirt. Well, that means, that ball might not even have touched the dirt and you just lost your pitcher a strike. So anticipating, being patient, reading that pitch, reading that pitch angle, reading that pitch shape is going to be so vital, so important to understanding how to be patient when you go down to make that last moment block, because it's such a sharp changeup, it's such a sharp splitter, it's such a late breaking cutter, whatever the pitch is, you're anticipating it so that you can be patient and make that last moment block because your pitcher has just disgusting, explosive, dirty stuff. So whether you're gonna block from both, more traditional blocking and get a little bit lateral with it, you're anticipating and you're being patient so you can put your body in that position to get over to block it, and you're not just falling or almost reacting to the block. And that's the thing. We want to get, the more we can anticipate things, the more we can be patient with things, the less reactive as a catcher we're going to be. And I'm sure I'm sure you've seen it, I've seen it, I'm sure every catcher that's ever watched any decent baseball is, you can see a catcher that's very reactive to everything on the field, and they just look, even if they have a cannon, even if they hit absolute bombs, when they're back behind the dish, you can just see it all over the place that they're more reactive than they are anticipating what's happening with their pitcher. They're more patient, they're smooth. They just look like an overall better athlete behind the plate. And I always like to say, a catcher is just a shortstop that has to cover less ground. And what that means is catchers are we're very athletic, and we have to allow our athleticism to be expressed in how we are approaching everything from throwing to receiving to blocking to just managing the game. Like, a lot of people think athleticism is just physical traits, but really, if that athleticism is not up here and it's only in here, it's only going to take you so far. So just remember how important everything is and works together, from your physical attributes to your mental attributes, and how that carries over to every part of your game behind the dish. And if you're a college guy, if you're a high school guy, if you're a kid coming up and learning the position, if you're a pro guy, all that stuff will carry over into any level that you're playing. And the more we can just work on that stuff and think about that stuff, the better everything will come together. I hope that helped.